So the point really here is capitalist systems are subject to crisis. You need to try and make sure that you can avoid them, improve the quality of regulation, improve the regulations that you have. All those are good things. But the capitalist system is a system which creates incentives to innovate, which creates incentives to, for free enterprise, and that is something that we really want. Think of the people that the IITs have produced who have generated tremendous wealth. Think of Vinod Khosla, a famous IIT Delhi alumni. Think of Rajiv Laroya, less famous but IIT Delhi alumni, but who's generated a lot of wealth in the recent past. Think of people, in India, Nandan Nilekani, Arjun Malhotra, people who've done very well for the system by being allowed to express their talents. Also think of where India has come to from where it was. In my generation, most of us IITians who wanted to do something innovative had to leave the country because the free enterprise system was not in India, it was outside. And that's where many of us found the financing and the environment that enabled us to set up firms. India has come a long way since, and many of you are homegrown entrepreneurs who've done wonderfully well by the country and by the institutes that have created you. And I think it's very important that we as IITians stand up for a kind of system which will allow us to create the kind of innovation, to create the kind of growth that this country needs. The alternative to this is the old state-owned system that we had and that we've come away from. And it is a system that in a time of crisis, there is a very strong incentive to go towards. Right now, every industry in India is clamoring for a package from the government. Everybody is asking for stimulus. Everybody is asking for interest rate subventions. Because after all, we're all going to look to the government to bail us out. But there are people who are not looking to the government. There are people who are saying, this is a moment of pain. We're going to do what is necessary to straighten our industry out, to adapt to the pain, and to grow even more strongly once this is over. Now, where I want to end is how do we create more public support for this kind of system, a system where you're free to achieve the best that you can. The problem in India is that many of our fellow citizens are incapable of taking advantage of the opportunities created by the market economy. They're incapable of taking advantage because they haven't had a good education. They're incapable of taking advantage because they haven't had good nutrition when they were children. They're incapable because they've got awful governance which faces them. When they want to file an FIR with the police station will not file that FIR. And into this breach comes the politician who says, I will provide these things to you. The politician becomes a source of patronage. And because the politician becomes a source of patronage, it's very hard to get good governance into the system. The poor keep voting for this politician because he helps them deal with the system. He helps them navigate the system. He helps them get their kids into school. He helps them get jobs when they lose jobs. Because the system doesn't work on its own to provide these things for the people as a whole. And when the politician who lives on patronage becomes key, people like you and me have very little effect on the governance process. As you know, many IITians have stood for election independently, and we haven't had much success. We have had a fate very similar to what Imran Khan experiences in Pakistan. I don't know how many of you have followed the career of Imran Khan, the famous Pakistani bowler, after he left cricket. Imran Khan is a fine politician. He is not a corrupt politician. He's generated a lot of money through donations to set up a cancer hospital where he prides himself on the fact that only the needy are admitted to the hospital, not the rich, not the powerful, not the people who phone him. Imran Khan is very proud of the fact that he's incorruptible. Yet Imran Khan in Pakistan gets only his seat. He doesn't manage to win any other seats for his party. He gets just one seat. Similarly, in India, we've seen groups of IITians set up parties, have very little success. We've seen Lok Satta emerging. I hope it does well. But we've seen this crisis in Bombay, and we've seen a lot of middle-class people say, we need to turf out these politicians. We need to replace them with a few good men. This is not happening, and it won't happen. It won't happen so long as the system lives on patronage, needs patronage to provide the basic services for the people. So my view, and this is what I'll end with, is that we as IITians, if we want a system that works for us, if we want a system that works for everybody, we need to focus on trying to make sure that, in fact, everybody has an access to the things they need to flourish in the free enterprise system. We need to make sure that the poor have access to education. We need to make sure that the poor have access to adequate health care, so they can take advantages of the opportunities that will be opened up as our economy expands, as our economy becomes more free enterprise. If we don't ensure that they have access to these opportunities, if we don't ensure that they can get education, healthcare, finance, we will leave them in the clutches of the politician. And we will ensure that the politician himself has command over us, that we will not get the kind of system that we really want. So with that, let me end. It's a plea that in an attempt to grow the Indian economy, we also have to make sure that our fellow citizens who are poorer, who have less access, also have to be brought along with us. That is the way we will ensure that, because the fruits of a growing economy are reaped by everybody, everybody collectively has a stake in making sure that the economy stays open and free as we would want it to stay. Let me stop there and see if there are questions.